What's up, YouTube? I hope each and every one of you guys are healthy and enjoying life today. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the 2025 MINI Cooper S Hardtop Classic Style. Huge thank you to Shawn Sampson over at MINI of Sterling, Virginia for allowing me to do this video for you guys today. If you are interested in this particular Cooper S or any MINI product, then I'll be sure to have Shawn's information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. All right, well, just like usual, first I'm going to talk about the exterior and the performance. So like I said, this is a 2025 MINI Cooper S Hardtop Classic Style, and this particular one has been painted in chili red too. I wanted to preface this video by saying for 2025, MINI redesigned the Cooper inside and out with updated exterior looks and a modernized interior. But as standard, you get LED headlights with automatic high beams as well as LED daytime running lights and LED turn signals. Now taking a step to the left, here is a front-on shot of the newly redesigned Cooper, and you can see you have your MINI logo located at the center of the hood. Coming down just a little bit, this one being the classic style, you get the gloss black front grille with the gloss black grille surround. You can see on the right hand side of your grille you have your red S, and then this one has been optioned with the $1,700 iconic trim level, so you get that forward facing camera that works with your 360 degree view camera system. You can see that camera is integrated into your body color grille panel, which is what this piece is right here, and as standard you get 6 forward facing sensors. And then back to the stylistic traits of the Cooper up here at the front end, you get that satin black front lip, and that satin black front lip leads into your satin black wheel arch moldings. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that the Cooper S has a pretty fun flavor to it when you get out onto the road. So this is just an option that I would consider getting because it is pretty darn affordable. So I'd look into getting the $500 dynamic damper control, which would basically tighten up the suspension when you put it into sport mode, loosen up the suspension when you put it into any other mode. Sport mode, I mean go-kart mode, yes. Anyways, coming down to here, this one being the classic style with the iconic trim level, you get to choose this wheel or one other wheel. Anyways, these are the 17-inch U-spoke vibrant silver wheels, and they're wrapped in 215/45 Hankook Kinergy XP all-season tires. Again, like I just mentioned, you get 2 other options with the classic style. If you wanted access to the other wheel options, you might want to look into getting the flavored style. Anyways, as standard, you get rain sensing wipers, and this one being the classic style, you have the option of getting the black painted roof. It can also be the body color roof. This one has been spec'd with the black painted roof and the black mirror caps, so you do get gloss black side mirrors with integrated turn signals. And as standard, these side view mirrors are heated, manual folding. You will find your blind spot monitoring on the outer left hand side of your driver's side mirror and on the outer right hand side of your passenger side mirror. This one being the iconic trim level, you get the auto dimming driver mirror, and then you also get the camera at the bottom of both of your side view mirrors, and those cameras work with your 360 degree view camera system. And last but not least, you also get a puddle light down here as well. Now I'm going to take a step back and give you a side profile shot here of the Cooper S. And as mentioned, with the classic style, you have the option of getting the gloss black painted roof and mirror caps. This one has been spec'd with the gloss black painted roof, as you can see. You also, as standard, doesn't matter if you get the classic style or the flavored style, you do get the gloss black door handles. This one being the iconic trim level, you get keyless access, and then you also get the satin black rockers. So you get that satin black front lip, satin black wheel arch moldings, satin black rocker panel, and coming here towards the back end, you get your satin black antenna. You get the gloss black roof spoiler, which looks absolutely sick. I love how it just comes and then it kind of like ducktails up a little bit. It looks super sporty. Love that. Obviously, you also get your third brake light located there, rear window defroster, your rear wiper, and the LED taillights come standard. And yes, they are the Union Jack style. They look pretty cool. It's a nice little Easter egg if you don't know much about these minis. However, I will say, and I'm just saying this off the rip, so don't, tear into me, please. This back end, in my opinion, has a very like Fiat Abarth style trait. I mean, just a little bit of it. but it really reminds me of it, especially in like this area right here. I don't know if you also see that, let me know in the comments down below. But you can see you have your vibrant silver Mini logo, you have the gloss black trim piece with the Cooper S lettering that connect your taillights together, and just beneath your two O's at the center, you follow that down, that is where you will find your backup camera. But follow the Mini logo straight down, put your hand underneath here. If the vehicle is unlocked, you have access to your trunk area. However, I don't have the key fob in my pocket and the trunk, or I don't have the trunk open. So coming around back, put your hand underneath here. That is how you open up your trunk. Obviously, this being a Cooper, there's really not all that much storage space. If you do need more storage space, you can pull up on this thing right here, push those seats down, and you can see you get an additional about 3 feet of storage space with the third row seats down. But with the or excuse me, not third row seats, the second row seats. But you can see with the second row seats up, you probably get about 2 feet of storage space. And vertically speaking, I would say you probably get 2.5 feet of storage space. But if you need to set jumper cables or socks or shoes or something like that, you can lift up on this and you probably have about 10 inches to a foot of depth down in here, followed by the width from here to there. I would say you probably get about, 3 feet-ish. But that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the trunk area. You do get an LED light located about right there. Closing that trunk, let's finish things off here at the back end. So as standard, you get 6 parking sensors back here, a satin black rear valance with your integrated reverse light. And then here on the passenger side, if you press on that, that is going to reveal your filler. It does ask for 91 octane, minimum of 87 octane. And that's kind of about it for the exterior of the new Mini Cooper. Let me know your thoughts on the redesigned Cooper in the comments down below. I'm curious to hear your opinions. And also, do you kind of see that Fiat inspired design at the rear end? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals the 2-liter twin power turbo 4-cylinder that produces 201 horsepower and 221 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to a 7-speed dual clutch transmission for a 0 to 60 time in 6.3 seconds. And if you are wondering about fuel economy, you can achieve 28 miles per gallon in the city, 39 miles per gallon on the highway for 32 miles per gallon combined with front wheel drive. This thing is actually pretty darn fun to drive. So you can get a vehicle that is relatively practical, it's very fun to drive, and it gets very good fuel economy. That's pretty hard to beat. But if you're enjoying the video so far today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you're enjoying the video, if you've learned anything, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But with that stuff out of the way, let's move into the interior. Moving on into the interior, this one being the iconic trim level, you get keyless access. So all you have to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, put your hand behind the door handle, and it will unlock. You can also lock it if you run your finger across these 2 little lines right here, and now it is locked. This is what the key fob looks like. It's satin black. You have your Mini lettering on this side, and going over the functions on it, you can see your Mini logo is your lock function. If you press the Mini logo 3 times and hold on the third, that is how you remote start it. And going over the functions, you have your unlock function, your trunk pop function, and your panic function. But let's see what the interior of this particular Cooper has to offer. So you can see the interior looks pretty sweet. This one has been spec'd with the gray and blue cloth / Veskin upholstery. So we're going to start here on our door panel. I'm not sure how well the GoPro is going to pick it up, but you can see you have some of that blue accenting here with this cloth. You also have your door handle, your unlock and your lock functions. That button is to power fold in or out the side view mirrors. You have your side view mirror controls, automatic up and down windows, and that button right there is for your trunk pop function. You also get some storage space and a speaker right here. This one being the iconic trim level, that's going to cost you $1,700, and you get the Harman Kardon sound system, which by the way sounds great. Now you also get the brushed aluminum Mini dorsal, and what I read online is that this thing being spec'd with the iconic trim level, it should have power adjustable front seats, but as you can see here, you get manually adjustable front seats. So just kind of interesting. You can see the Veskin material, it's kind of like a synthetic leather. You get some of these cool like blue, red, black, gray. cloth pattern here. It looks awesome, honestly. But now let's step on into the interior. I also wanted to mention that you do get heated front seats as standard, as well as a heated steering wheel. But take a listen to what it sounds like when you close the door. Now let's fire this thing up. That is what it sounds like when you fire this thing up from the driver's perspective. And now what I'm going to do is walk you throughout the entire interior. So first things first, up top here, you get the Harman Kardon tweeter. You also get an HVAC vent here. And if you come to the side of your steering column, you flip that down. That gives you access into your manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. So you can push the steering wheel away from you. You can bring the steering wheel towards you, and it also moves up and down. I'm gonna lock it back into position here. And now let's take a listen to the turn signal. That is what the turn signal sounds like. And you can see right here, this is how you're gonna turn your headlights on. You flip it down for headlights automatic and press off to turn the headlights off. If you wanted to mess with your parking lights, you can come and press this button on the end of the turn signal control stock, and it's gonna bring you into your exterior lighting settings. You can mess with your headlight stuff. You can mess with your parking light stuff. In your headlight stuff, you can turn your automatic high beams on or off. Now, zooming back out, you get this wrapped steering wheel with the accent colored stitching. You can see the vibrant silver accenting, and just like any other vehicle, you have your horn at the center. Let's take a listen. That is what the horn sounds like here on the Mini Cooper. As mentioned, you also get a heated steering wheel. If you wanted to turn the heated steering wheel on, you come to right here, and then you get your heated steering wheel button. 3 levels of adjustability with the heated steering wheel. And to turn the heated steering wheel on, you have to access it throughout the screen there. Now, walking you throughout the controls here on the steering wheel. Now, this one being the iconic trim level, you get adaptive cruise control. So here are your adaptive cruise control settings. You can see you have your cruise control mode here. So you also can go into just your regular cruise control mode, but this also has the active driving assistant. So basically it will steer for you. And then on this side of the steering wheel, you have your volume controls. This is kind of like your shortcuts button. This is going to pop up your phone stuff here on the infotainment screen. That button is to speak to the vehicle. Then you have your media stuff right here. You press the media stuff, it's gonna pop up your media stuff here on the head-up display system. And then you also have the like scroll knob here, and then to select to the left and to the right, that is for also your head-up display system, which is located up top there. Then you have your windshield wiper control stock. So all Minis now have a head-up display. All Mini Coopers now have a head-up display system. So this is what the head-up display system looks like. It's not gonna pick up all that well. Basically, right there, you have your speed limit sign. Then you can see this thing right here is basically like your power level. So if you floored it, this is gonna go all the way up to here, letting you know that we're using 100% of the throttle. And then you have your fuel gauge on the left and your digital speedometer readout there at the center. When you turn the vehicle off, this thing folds down. Now you can see you also get that cloth dash. You can see the blue accenting in the dash itself. Not going to pick up all that well on camera. But this screen right here is new for 2025. It is a little bit updated. So this is the 9.4-inch circular infotainment system with built-in navigation and wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto connectivity. So right now we got our power level here, digital speedometer readout at the center. That is the speed limit sign, transmission status stuff, fuel gauge, fuel range, fuel gauge, letting you know who's buckled, who is not buckled. You got your phone stuff, dual zone automatic climate control, so you can see your temperature controls there. You can control the temperature there. You have your different shortcut buttons down here. You also have your time, your temperature. You can go into your climate control stuff there. This is going to bring you into your radio stuff. Then you get your home button. It's going to bring you into your home screen. Then you get your navigation button and your phone button. Right now my phone is connected. Now here on the home screen, you can go in between like the connect telephone screen, the navigation screen. Then you get your audio stuff. Spike is like your personal assistant. It's basically, you can tell it to do HVAC to 60 degrees, fan speed 3. Then you got your weather stuff. You have your fuel information stuff, driving assistant stuff. Then you have a clock. You can also go into a secondary screen here, so you can see all of your different apps: Apple CarPlay, assisted view, climate control, doors and windows. You have all of like your settings and apps throughout this screen. But if this is kind of overwhelming, you can separate them by your infotainment apps. You got your vehicle apps. You have your recently used apps. Then you have your Mini connected. So basically it makes it very easy to navigate by, you know, going throughout the different sub menus like infotainment, vehicle, stuff like that. Makes it a little bit easier to navigate. And then beneath that, you have your push button to go into park, push down to go into drive, push up to go into reverse. We're gonna go back into park. Again, 360 camera system. That is what that looks like right there. You also have a backup assistant here. And then you have your experiences. So your experiences are your different drive modes. So we're gonna go all the way up to the top, which we're gonna start in go-kart mode. Yahoo! Listen, hear it? And then if you come down, then you have go-kart mode's basically like your sport mode. If you come down one, you got your core mode, green mode, vivid mode, timeless mode, and your balance mode. Balance mode is what I've been driving in. I will put it into go-kart mode when we do get out onto the road, but take a listen. Between each drive mode, you get the sounds. Listen. It's pretty cool. And then you also get a different layout and stuff. It's, you know, kind of cool. And then you have your volume control knob. If you push like that, that's to go backwards on a track. Push like that, that's to go forwards on a track. Clicking on this thing right here is going to bring you into your driver assistance and your drivetrain and chassis stuff. You can turn your lane departure warning off. You can turn the auto stop start system. You get your drive off support, automatic hold, which is basically a function to hold you in place with the brakes holding by themselves. Then that's going to pop up your camera system and your driver assistance features. That's your hazard button, max front defroster, rear defroster. This being the iconic trim level, you get a wireless charging pad, which is located here. You also get 2 cup holders, good amount of storage space, 2 USB-C ports, a 12-volt power outlet. Then you get a nicely padded armrest. Coming over to here, you do not get a lockable lower glove box, but you get a decent amount of storage space in that glove box. You also get an auto-dimming rear view mirror. The iconic trim level gives you the interior camera. If this was my car, I'd put a piece of electrical tape over that. Then you get your SOS stuff right there. This is going to bring you into your interior light controls, which is what this thing is right here. This is your instant dome light on button. It can turn on all the interior dome lights. You have your individual reading lights you can turn on individually. Opening up your visor, you get a vanity mirror, and then let's see, the visor does not slide. It is fixed in position. Driver gets a no poop handle, as does the front passenger. You also get a sunroof right here. This sunroof does slide and it also does tilt. You also get a glass piece back there, but that glass piece does not open. It's just something to look out of. Again, this one does slide, and if you wanted to tilt it, all you have to do is push up right here and boom, the sunroof will tilt open. But really, that's kind of about it for what we got going on here in the interior. I will say, I think these seats are a touch on the firmer side, but they are very comfortable at the same time. And then here is what these rear seats look like. You know, really honestly, not super comfortable for somebody of my height. You know, 5'9". I tried sitting back there to get some B-roll shots. I was like, this thing's a coupe. I would not want to sit back there. A kid can sit back there. You can put your dog back there. I would not ride back there. I would drive my own car if my friend had one of these and like, hey, sit in the back. I would drive my own car. Anyways, now I'm gonna throw the entire window sticker on screen. You can take a look at whatever you want to, but I am just gonna highlight the MSRP. So the MSRP of the way that this particular 2025 MINI Cooper S Hardtop classic style iconic trim level is spec'd is $37,295. Definitely a lot of money. I do think if I was looking for something like this thing is pretty cool. It's pretty quirky. So, you know, it is a cool vehicle and it is fun to drive. My only complaint is that it doesn't have steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. It really needs steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. I don't understand why it does not have paddle shifters. But you know, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about what's going on here in the interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, as I'm assuming you guys do as well. So I'll see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, now on to the driving portion of the video, where I always start my videos here. We go over these speed bumps at 5 miles an hour, and I rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 5 miles an hour. Honestly, the suspension is pretty firm. Going over the speed bumps anyway. Let's see how it does here on the second one. 5 miles an hour. I'm going to give this thing a 7.8 on a scale of 1 to 10. The suspension is definitely on the firmer side when it goes over those speed bumps, but when you do the handling test, you see why. It handles very, very well. Very minimal body roll. This thing doesn't really weigh all that much, and you know, it's more for pleasure driving and daily driving. But when you get this thing out onto the street, you don't really feel like it has a firm suspension. Now here's a nice little acceleration for you. It sounds very Golf GTI-ish to me. That's just like very similar sounding. I will say, when I pulled out of the dealership, I got on it a little bit, and where the dealership is, they have like these jersey walls that are about to go over a bridge. When you're about to go over the bridge, the turbo was really, really loud. I had the windows down. It sounded sweet. Like, it was just a really, really cool experience to get out on the road and give it a little bit of gas and hear the turbo just spool up. You know, you can hear obviously the turbo spool with the RPMs. That's what turbos do. But it was just getting louder and louder the more that I was getting on it. I was like, this thing is actually, it's a pretty fun driving experience. Now, I got to be totally upfront here. It's been a long day. I haven't eaten all day, so I'm a little hangry here. That guy did a stupid move back there. I don't know if you could hear it. I'm a little hangry, so I kind of just want the day to be over with. So if I seem a little short, that might be what it is. But great low-end acceleration. I mean, you really don't have to get on it all that much, and you can just hear it, you know, accelerate. So in between your different drive modes, it's going to show you different things here on your infotainment screen. So there was one drive mode, I can't remember which one. I think I was in Core. I do think I like Core mode the best because it gives you the tachometer, and I just got to get here to the home screen. At least I thought it gave me the tach. I can't remember which. I know go-kart mode gives you the tach, but I thought another one of the drive modes also gave you the tachometer. I can't remember. But anyways, we're cruising at about 53-ish miles an hour right now. Take a listen to what it sounds like cruising at 53, going over these bridge joints, and also the wind and the road noise wise. For this thing being what it is very well insulated from the outside world. There's really not all that much wind noise here, surprisingly. There's actually much less wind noise here than I was expecting. This thing is kind of BMW-ish, so I mean, I'm not too surprised, but I'm very pleasantly surprised with the lack of wind and road noise. That is definitely very nice here. This thing has a dual clutch, and if you've ever driven a dual clutch, you know what I'm about to say. But if you've never driven a dual clutch is kind of interesting in that you can kind of feel the engagement point when you're getting off from a stop or going from a stop. You can feel it kind of like slip the clutch into. If you ever driven a manual, it make a little bit more sense. But looking at the Mini Cooper's daytime running lights in the tailgate of that Ram right there, you can see the circle, and it honestly looks like a G-Wagon headlight or daytime running light. G-Wagons also have that circular daytime running light. So this thing's fun to drive, you know, especially if you get it into go-kart mode. You can have a pretty good time. The only thing is, I really wish it had steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, because it is a very fun driving experience, and you would think that it needs the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters because it is such a fun driving experience. So I think that was kind of a miss. Is the lack of the steering wheel paddle shifters, but it is what it is. It's still fun to drive. Here, I'm gonna get into this lane. It's just got a great sound to it. I mean, it really does. You can hear the turbo spool. It's just very fun to drive. Like, it's just like almost driving a go-kart in a way. I drove a 2024 Mini Cooper John Cooper Works, and that thing was fun. It was a manual. The turbo is loud. I mean, you can have fun with this thing. You can hear the turbo a lot. Like, especially if you're not playing music and you're kind of playing with the throttle, because there's a certain RPM point that it's in the lower range, like here-ish, that you can hear the turbo spool up more, rather than if you're flooring it, you can't really hear it as much because you can hear more of the engine. So I found that at like the lower RPM range, like here-ish, right about there, that is when you can hear the turbos start to spool. So that's just a fun little thing because you don't really have to get on it that much in order to get that sound, and then you just let off and it goes whoosh. So anyway, very fun driving experience. The suspension is actually really good once you get it out onto the road, but when you're going over those speed bumps or you hit a bigger bump like we're about to hit up here, you can feel that the suspension is definitely rides on the firmer side. But when you're just cruising, you know, out on the regular asphalt, you're like, okay, this thing's actually not too bad. It's actually a pretty compliant suspension. It's only when you hit those sharp bumps that you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe it is on the firmer side. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for this light to turn green, and then I'm going to do a nice little acceleration over here to the left once I get straightened out here. And obviously we're going to do the acceleration in go-kart mode. I like the yoo-hoo that you get when you put it into go-kart mode. See, when I hit those bumps, it's a pretty harsh feeling. Now here's floored. Definitely some pumped in audio. I think the turbo really kicks in at about 35. No, more like 4,000 RPM is really where you can feel it begin to build like hard power. I'm gonna put it into core mode now. So just a very fun driving experience. It's very unusual if you've never been in a Mini, because just the way that you sit in this thing, the way that it wraps around you is just, it's very weird if you've never been in a Mini before. But it's fun. You just got to get in it, and I think you will have a blast driving this thing because it really is a lot of fun to drive. It's definitely quirky, but other than that, build materials are pretty darn good. The interior touch points, like, everything's pretty well built, I feel like. And you know, Mini has that certain level of quirkiness. You can see here with the circular screen, with that interesting looking head-up display. It's all a part of the Mini vibe. By the way, the Harman Kardon sound system sounds fantastic. I did a video with a BMW X7 and it had the upgraded like $4,000 Bowers & Wilkins sound system, and then I got into doing a video with a Mini 2025 Mini Countryman, which you can check that video out in the upper right hand section of the video right now. And the Harman Kardon in the Mini was better than the Bowers & Wilkins, just the way that it's, you know, because this is a smaller area, so it's just, it just sounded better. But anyways, that's it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and I cannot reach my goal without your support. So if you enjoyed the video, if you learned anything from the video, please take a second to like, comment, and subscribe. Each like, each comment, and each subscription gets me one step closer to my goals, to my dreams, and I would just greatly appreciate it. If you've made it this far into the video, type in summer weather in the comments down below, and also let me know if you have any requests of any vehicles you want to see me review. Let me know in the comments down below. But again, that is it for today's video. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.